Now, you've been one of the more consistent voices in our communities for over a decade.
Yes, sir.
What keeps you motivated to be that voice, although there is so much pushback and people misunderstanding your message?
Because there's not another one of me. And what I mean by that is, even though I'm the most popular person in the conscious community, Pan-Africanism is a minority philosophy amongst the conscious community. We got Nation of Islam, a lot of them. We got Hebrews, a lot of them. We got Nawapians, a lot of them. We got Guys and Earths, a lot of them. You know, you got the Pretendians, a lot of them, right? But RBG, diehard Pan-African Garveyism, I'm the only one. The next closest would be Asara Sutanseti, you know, an Irritated Genie. We would probably be the only three who rock the RBG. They don't identify as Pan-Africanists. They black nationalists, right? It's really a play on words because Pan-Africanism gave birth to black nationalism. Well, be no black the first black nationalism was Pan-Africanism, right? So, but we would probably be the only three who rock the RBG. You know, everybody else is everything else. You know, and it's similar to Garvey because when the Honorable Marcus Garvey was in the States, he was the only one pushing the Pan-African thing. Early. But he was the most popular. He had the largest movement, and so he had to deal with all the hate. So there's a lot of this. I don't put myself on his level at all, right? I can't walk in them shoes, but I see a lot of the same similarities. Where was the Black Star Line Steamship Company incorporated? Delaware. 1919. FDMG, Delaware, 2019. It's the same thing. FDMG is my Black Star Line. It's the one thing that people try to destroy because if you succeed, it puts you over the top. You see that? Now, that Black Star Line was successful under Garvey, but it was short-lived because of the sabotage. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're trying to recreate that with me through the FDMG.
What would you say? Go ahead.
Just for our audience, if you had to define Pan-Africanism versus Garveyism versus black nationalism,
okay,
how would you explain that?
Okay, first I would say that Garveyism is the highest stage of Pan-Africanism or revolutionary Pan-Africanism or revolutionary Pan-African nationalism, right?
Right.
And sometimes we distinguish because you have Pan-African socialists, right? They are class first. They target capitalism as the enemy, not racism, white supremacy. So for the Pan-African socialists, it's not a contradiction to sleep with white girls because white people are not the enemy. Capitalism is. You see that? So this is where you see people with the red, black, and green, but the red ain't on top and the black ain't in the middle and the green ain't on the bottom. They might got the green on the top of the... Always pay attention to the order of the colors. Right. The Garvey flag is RBG. If you ever see GBR or BRG, you're probably dealing with some socialists who are revolutionary integrationists.
But for the term Pan-African, just so
right, stay with me, stay with me. So I want to... It's very important that we clarify the socialism, capitalism is the enemy, versus the nationalism. White supremacy is the enemy. You feel me?
Right.
The socialists say if we kill capitalism, we automatically destroy racism. And we say, have you been to Russia? They communists, racist as hell against blacks. Have you been to China? I've spoken there several times, racist against blacks. So I don't care if you change the economic system, there will still be racism against African people, right? Now, let me go back to your question. Garveyism is the highest stage of it. What I mean by that, we're the strictest. So we're going to say no snow bunny hopping. Other Pan-Africanists might not say that. We're going to say that the international government for African people must be on a continent. Not every Pan-Africanist will say that. Some Pan-Africanists will say we can have the international government in the United States. We can have the international government in Jamaica. We can have it in Haiti. Why got to be Africa? We say Africa because number one, it's the motherland, and number two, it's the richest piece of real estate on the planet Earth. Why would you give up all those resources? Why would you give up all those resources just because you hate yourself? Because whoever controls Africa controls the world.
Right, it's the cradle of civilization.
Exactly. So the Garveyite, we're the strictest. If I was to give you a religious comparison, let's go to Islam, right? You got the Sunni Orthodox Muslims. Then you got your Shia Muslims.
Right.
The Shia are only 5%, right? But they are very, very strict in what they do. Their women cover their faces. It's a stricter form of Islam, right?
Right.
Garveyism is a stricter form of Pan-Africanism. Now, black nationalism, which is Pan-Africanism's child. There's no black nationalism before Pan-Africanism. Henry Highland Garnett, Pan-Africanist. Paul Cuffey, Pan-Africanist. Alexander Crummell, Pan-Africanist. Bishop Henry B. Mill Turner, Pan-Africanist. These are the fathers of black nationalism. They were all Pan-Africanists. The difference between Pan-Africanism and black nationalism is black nationalism don't deal with the international chessboard. They deal with the domestic chessboard. You feel me?
Right.
The black nationalist says, I'm looking out for blacks in America. What we going to do for us here? We deal with Africa later after we fix this.
So my question to you is this, right? Just so for everybody to understand.
Yes.
So when we say Pan-Africanism,
Global.
Are you talking
all Africans?
Well, are you talking about repatriation, meaning that all black people need to leave and go back to Africa?
So let's go back to Garveyism, being the highest stage, right?
Right.
Most Pan-Africanists believe in some form of repatriation, but you don't have to be a supporter of repatriation as a Pan-Africanist.
Okay.
You must be a supporter of repatriation as a Garveyite.
All right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Understood.
It's not an option for us.
Right.
But some Pan-Africanists will say, I don't think you necessarily got to go back to Africa or deal with Africa. But for Garveyites, absolutely repatriation. But let's be clear, though. I want to clarify. Marcus Garvey never said take everybody back to Africa. He never had a back to Africa movement. The media called it that. Marcus Garvey said, some of you are no good in America and will likewise be no good in Africa. I have no intention of resettling every African in the diaspora back home, and neither do I. What I want to take blonde whips and bunny hoppers, basketballs and footballs and weaves and perms and Air Jordans, hell, video game systems. Africa got enough problems as it is. She don't need us coming over there with more toxicity. I believe in a scientific, strategic Pan-Africanism where only those who are in their right mind and who are going to the mother continent to contribute something should go to Africa. I don't believe you just go because you African. No. What are you going to do when you get there?
All right.
Big.
Boom. I was talking to Cato earlier, and I'm like, it's just he's just better than a lot of people at communicating his message.
Sharp.
Now, if your younger self could see the man that you've become today, what would you think?
If my younger self knew that I would become the man that I am today, I would have gotten married before September 18th, 2010. That's the Chicago interview that changed my whole life. I would have got married. What else? The main thing is I would have got married because looking back, I know I could have done so much more with a queen by my side who I could trust. So I know if I had a queen, I probably have 5 schools already because she would have been able to help maneuver and she could have been the face of a lot of what I had to do. See, a lot of the resistance is they know who I am as opposed to I'm going to let you front it. You follow me? They don't even know I'm involved. All they see is the queen. They never even see Dr. Umar until the door's open. You see what I'm saying? So I see where I lost time by not having that queen. If I would have knew, I would have had her. But there's no way of knowing.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right,
but if the ancestors would have said, listen, you going to Chicago, you're going to do an interview, 6 weeks later, you're going to go to Harlem, and once you drop that interview from Chicago off in Harlem, in 48 hours, you're going to be the biggest name in black consciousness. I would have wifed one of the sisters who I felt could have held me down. None of them were really conscious, though, but they were good women. I would have wifed one. Could they have survived the rise? I don't know. Because it's one thing dating a local psychologist. It's something completely different dating somebody who's on 3 continents in 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know if they could have handled that, but I would have been willing to try because I needed that foundation. Right. And now it's scary because you don't know who you can trust. Women come to you for the wrong things. They talk the black talk until they get to a certain point, and then they might flip if they don't get what they want. So it's dangerous dating when you Dr. Umar now because everybody know who you are.
Yeah. And it has to be difficult for these women as well. Like they have to understand your power, right?
Yes.
And a lot of it, I would imagine they would probably try to fit in too early on with like without kind of understanding their own role.
Yes. And the biggest issues with women, 4 biggest issues. Number 1, insecurity about other women. I'm a school psychologist by profession. Who's raising most of our kids? The mothers. So there's going to be women around all the time because that's who I have to serve to help the babies. If you're not secure in who you are, you're not going to be able to exercise composure and discipline when it matters most, and you'll end up embarrassing you and embarrassing me. You see, so the insecurity about other women, that's a big deal. You got to be comfortable in your skin. There's always going to be a woman who looks better than you, but you need to understand that I'm committed to you, right? And when I look back over these 15 years, there were some good women I dated, bro, but they were very insecure about other women. I could not do it. I could. So that's 1. Number 2, confidentiality. Talk too much. You can't chat my business because I got too many enemies. Not everything, well, this is my girlfriend. I don't give a damn. She ain't my girlfriend. Stop chatting my business because you don't know who she pillow talking with and you don't know who they pillow talking with. You see what I'm saying? Because I think women don't understand the dangers of what I do. I'm not Cat Williams, right? And much respect to Cat. I'm not Shannon Sharp. I'm not Kevin Hart. They're purely entertainment. They're not grassroots activists. So they don't have to look over their shoulder all the time. Now, if they beefing with somebody, yes, but their job in and of itself is not a danger. Right. My job in and of itself is a danger. I get death threats on a regular basis. You can't be running around telling people everything we do and where we go because you're compromising my security and you don't even know it because you're looking at me as an entertainer. You're not looking at me as an activist. And this is where I say all the time, my celebrity, and I hate to use that word, my celebrity sometimes undermines my activism because people don't understand. You feel me? This is not about the jokes and the laughs and the views and the clicks and the pictures. That's cute, but that's just the icing on the cake. It ain't the cake. And y'all missing the whole point of why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so I think sometimes women in the general community sometimes fail to forget he's not an entertainer. He's an activist. His message is dangerous. Taking on the pharmaceutical industry, taking on the special ed complex, taking on the juvenile incarceration system. These are multi-billion-dollar industries. They don't like what I'm teaching. I got a letter from the Attorney General of Pennsylvania a couple years ago. He threatened to take my credentials if I didn't stop teaching what I was teaching. He gave no examples of what I was teaching. You feel me? He just said, if you keep saying what you're saying, we're going to take your credentials away from you. And I'm saying, what exactly am I saying that ain't true? Or he gave no examples, but he basically threatened to shut me down if I keep on waking parents up to the dangers of and to their rights regarding special ed, ADHD, behavior problems, psychiatric meds, because I know it's affecting the bottom line because there's too many parents I've woke up. And not just the black parents, because I get calls from the Asians, the East Indians. They'll never tell you, but I help parents all across the spectrum. But of course, it's mostly the African parents. They're beginning to feel the pinch of that a little bit. And I think they have the state trying to crack down on me because of it. So I need people to understand that I may have the mainstream popularity of a celebrity, but my work is that of a Malcolm and a Martin and a Garvey and a Medgar and a Huey. That's the work. You follow what I'm saying? Don't lose sight of the work because you're caught up in the appearance of things. And that's where the celebrity undermines the activism.
Did you hear the, speaking on women and their ability to talk?
Yes.
A little too much.
Yes.
Did you hear Ayesha Curry, Steph Curry's wife? She recently had a podcast where she was speaking to the people. It seems as if there was a bit of a misconception in what she was saying. What she stated, and look, there's two sides of it, and I understand both. From what I gathered from what she says is she meets Steph Curry. She's a 22-year-old girl. She wasn't expecting to be all this.
Okay.
I didn't expect to be a mom. She feels like she kind of lost herself in this, although she's, dating a superstar. She's got she's got all the money. She's got the beautiful kids. She's got the life. But she's saying, like, this isn't the life I wanted.
Not her identity.
And what she stated, from what I gathered, is I wanted to be the queen, the businesswoman that helped, not the one that just was the mother at home. I wanted to be able to build a career and be able to help build up my man. And it just so happened that this is my path.
I guess my question for her would be, why couldn't you still have done that? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Why? I don't see.
Are you not in a better position to do so now?
Yeah, I don't see why she could not have still done that. I would be confused about that. Now, if she was dating an activist and said that, that would be different. Because if you Betty Shabazz or Coretta Scott King or Amy Garvey or Anna Douglas, your whole life changes because of the mission of your husband, because he's serving the people.
Right.
She ain't married to an activist. You're married to an athlete. So who's rich? So why couldn't you still have done that? I don't understand. You know what I mean? I understand what she's saying, but I don't understand why she could not have still led that life.
Yeah. And it seems to be the issue right now with podcasts and media just all over the place, because you can go down the street and there's media there. There's somebody there, just as we are today.
Yes.
The voices are outspoken, and it seems, a lot of people sit there and they look at it and they say, whoa, man, what it must feel to be like, even though they don't know how Steph Curry feels. Oh, man, it must suck that he has to go through that with a woman saying, it's kind of like that Travis Hunter thought. So you're saying that maybe you meeting me kind of thwarted your life in a negative way.
I would argue Steph may not mind because he knows she's not going anywhere. I don't mean that in a negative way, but I think they have a pretty good marriage.
Yeah.
So he's probably at the point in his life where he's like, let her talk. Right. You know what I mean?
Let her get it off.
Because what y'all don't know is she really enjoying the benefits of being Miss Curry, despite all that. You see what I'm saying? You're enjoying the benefits of being Miss Curry. So I think he's good with it at this point. It almost harkens me back to what Jada Pinkett Smith was saying about Will, kind of on the same lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really don't like when the women publicly go against their husbands.
It's so distasteful.
I don't mind a little bit of it to let people know you still your own woman.
Right.
I understand you got to do that for the feminazi. I get it.
Especially if it's real.
Right.
I understand.
But to constantly, like Ayesha, this is becoming a pattern.
Well, yeah.
Jada, it's a pattern.
I ain't like that.
You know what I mean? Like, are you emasculating me in public?
Well, then after that, I saw a clip of her on, I think it was The View, and they had some guy, buff black dude, shirt off, bring out some drinks. They said, I think it's time for us to have a drink. And then topless dude come out with a tray full of drinks. She did one of these gestures like, oh, he's here.
Which one? Which one?
Ayesha.
Ooh.
Ayesha grabbed the ring.
Did you actually see the clip? I heard about it. I didn't see it.
I'm going to have to look. Hopefully she was joking. Still ain't appropriate, though.
Yeah.
But back to back, and now the narrative is out there. And this, I don't think this is the first time she's expressed this taste about being the famous person's wife.
Yeah.
Well, if she wants an open relationship, and I couldn't have that with my woman personally. I just couldn't. But them celebrities, they do that. If she wants an open relationship, bring it to your husband and see what he has to say about it. I heard Will and Jada has an open relationship. I don't know if it's true. Allegedly, they have an open relationship.
That might not have been by
so
choice.
maybe Ayesha wants an open relationship. I don't know if Steph is into that, because his parents were married. They divorced, but they were married a long time.
Yeah.
So normally when you come from that type of foundation, you want a traditional foundation, not no crazy stuff. You know what I mean? But it sounds like she needs to get back out there to revalidate her femininity again.
Yeah, it sounds like where she's going.
You know what I mean? Because, in marriage, you can grow apart. And, I've done a lot of therapy, a lot of life coaching. People can sometimes grow apart. It's not that he wrong. It's not that she wrong. We just not the people we were before. Is she there yet? You know what I mean? That would be the question. Yeah. Are you there yet? Are you ready to start dating outside this marriage? And if you are, that's the conversation you got to have with your husband. I support the black couples. I don't want to see them break up. I love the Steph and Ayesha thing. You know what I mean? I'm glad Will and Jada's still together through all the crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I love the Nelly and Ashantis. You know, I love the LeBrons and his queen.
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Jay-Z and Beyonce. We need those examples of young black love. You know, when Offset and Cardi B broke up, I was like, damn, because y'all was a nice couple, you know what I mean, with the babies and everything. You know what I mean? I just think we need to preserve that black love, especially amongst the young folks, because right now they pushing the bunny hop so much and the rainbow so much that our children are not seeing enough examples of healthy black love, and if they don't start seeing it, they're not going to want to be a part of it.
With Ayesha's case, how you stated, you don't know why she's not doing it. Does the, mothering those children early on, you don't think that takes an effect into
it
her
does.
Yeah.
It does. But did you not have a say in that? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Steph didn't, I don't know the dynamics of the relationship, but
take this baby.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you wanted that baby because part of having that baby was locking in the bag. Like, let's be real.
This business agreement is official.
First to the ocean gets the drink. You know what I mean?
Your contract's $450 million?
Yeah. Let's have two.
So let's not act like these babies was all unplanned.
Yeah.
Okay? Maybe 2 or 3 wasn't, but that first one to a celebrity, no woman's convincing me that you're having an unplanned baby with a celebrity. Come on. It was planned. I want him to stick together.
And I think they will because he seems to be defending her.
Okay, good. Good. I like that.
It's like let her.
I like that.
Let her go.
Now his mom might need to have a conversation with her though, from mother-in-law to daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Like, listen,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Here's how we handle.
You better leave my baby alone in public.
Save that. Come talk to me.
Yeah.
But you can't keep running on these little shows. You know what I mean? Taking hits at my son because he's held you down. And I've never heard anything about Steph and any infidelity.
Yeah.
And he's very popular amongst the women. You feel me? I haven't heard nothing. So he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's the complaint. Let's not do this on The View.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Can we do some counseling within home? I like what you said. Have the mother of Steph. I like that.
I'm a huge Curry fan. And there's Brian out there, and I love Brian too. But if you're kind of forced in one direction, if you like Curry, you gotta. If
I gotta choose one or the other, I might have to go Curry.
Yeah,
I might have to go Curry.
But there's a great example of a powerful relationship in Savannah and LeBron.
Oh yes, hands down.
I mean? Because you won't catch her.
Nah,
you won't catch her bad mouthing Brian.
Nah, you won't.
Yeah,
you won't.